block, southbound, holla at me. What it do, y'all? It's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that Repent or Die podcast. For those that don't know, I am Junes for the Bantu by blood, not by converge. You know I'm out here to splurge with the what, with the word. All praise and glory to the Father, Sunini, Nanini, the great I am that I am, only name given unto the children of Akobi. Yes. I hope everybody's having a blessed one. You know, it's a very beautiful day in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It's nice outside. It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? The day before December. Just got news that it's going to be a double Sabbath because we enter in a new month. You know, very important that we keep these things according to the Holy Land, not according to these Gentile lands. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man. You know, I came here, bring my mic a little closer so you guys can hear me. I came here not to give you scriptures today. I'm not here to give you guys scriptures. I'm here to give you some advice as a ex gang member and a ex drug dealer. I've been around the block, and it's through the mercy of the Father that I am alive today to stand before you, to talk before you, and being able to give you guys this wisdom that I'm bringing out right now. But you guys got to understand that this role of being in the streets and playing that is not something that you guys should be really playing. You understand? It's very, very important that we stay far away from these streets because these people are not telling you the truth about how the streets is. You know what I'm saying? Yo, babe, close the door, please. You know, these people not telling you the truth on what really goes on in these streets, man. And why I'm coming out to talk about this is because not only am I seeing things with the YLS individual, you know, with the young gunner and young whatever these people names are, but now I'm also seeing things with the $100,000 bond that was on this Chicago rapper by the name of FBG Duck. Shout out to his moms who's doing what she tried to do to, you know, generate money to provide for his children, which, you know, with the shady business. And that's something I'm going to talk about too, about the shadiness about this music industry that a lot of colored people want to partake in because they see the glitz and glamour but don't know what really goes on behind the scenes, right? But just seeing that and seeing how dudes get locked up and now are telling and pointing fingers, whether the person is dead or alive. But the fact that we're seeing the route that these streets has taken. And to be honest, these streets always been like this. It's just now that we got technology, now that we got so much information, so much in-depth details, so much easy access to paperwork where, you know, dudes back in the days would come out and front like they was solid until somebody from the inside sent a kite or whatever and said, now someone's telling. Now you don't have to do that. All of these is public information. Just go online, it's in your hands, right? But as somebody that was in the streets, that did everything you can imagine, you know, from selling drugs to and I wouldn't say I sold a drug, but I watched the homies sell drugs to women that was pregnant. You understand? To riding state lines, going from Brooklyn to Manhattan to Jersey, OT, no matter where it was, riding around with hammers, to, being in funerals, seeing homies being incarcerated, losing close ones, seeing homies get shot. Like, all of this stems from being in these streets. And as somebody that was knee deep in the game, and like I told guys all the time, if it wasn't for my children, especially my son, I probably would have been long gone. And of course the father, but my son was what woke me up. But being in these streets, I can tell you that this life is not a life that I would wish anybody to partake in. This life is an overfabricated, mystical lie that got us thinking that this is the only way to be. And in reality, it's the biggest cause of our demise. We are losing soldiers out here. We are losing warriors out here. We are pointing, and I shouldn't say we, they have pointed our soldiers in the wrong direction and made us view each other as the enemy. They have invested millions of dollars to lead you in a mental state that you guys are in right now. Millions. Let me take that back. Billions of dollars. They invest so much money into your demise. And the first thing that they do is they bring it to the youth, the black youth. This is why hip hop, they call it a young man's game. They need to keep it young because somebody young doesn't have in-depth experience to give powerful wisdom that could better the next generation coming up. No. They got to keep it young so these children could continue seeing negativity and seeing young children with money, don't know how to act, don't know how to operate, and they entice the up and coming to follow this pattern. And when following this pattern leads children to jail, leads children to hell, leads children without being able to see their mother or put their mother through a level of stress that they can't even handle it. This is what this street life has done. You know how many parents I've seen and spoken to that is exhausted from just going to court? That they age dramatically because of all this unnecessary stress, because of the selfishness of us. I was selfish. I put my mother through a lot. She didn't deserve that. But when you come from the streets and when you come from an environment where being an animal is what you need to survive, that becomes a problem. The question then you then ask is, who taught us this behavior? Who told us that it was okay for us to be a gangster? And I'm watching these young youths growing up. I'm watching them. Like, I sit back and I watch. Everything that these up and coming youth is just off. You can just look at a child and see that this child is raised with no morals, no principles, no guidance, no wisdom, nothing. When you see young boys having conversations with other boys and they get into a verbal dispute, and the young boy could say SMD and say it proudly, that's a level of concern. And I don't want to take this out to be a rant. I don't want it to be a rant. I want it to be understanding. I want it to be a message for the up and coming. And I want you to know that we need you. I'm not gonna be young forever. I need to know that my generation, my nation, my complexion is gonna be in the right hands moving forward. And for the things that I'm seeing now, it doesn't look like it's headed that way. And there's many of reasons to these problems, but the main problem, and I hold myself accountable, is not catching these young ones early. This is why I felt like I had to do this video. Usually I come on and I talk my talk. I put my foot on you heathens, you he-goes in the newly installed heathen nice next. But at this point, right here, right now, listening to Mama Duck's story, seeing how dudes put 100 bands on her son's head. Now he's no longer here. He leaves behind 4 children. The person that paid the money, he's no longer here. He leaves behind children. And when you do the backstories and you do the back histories to see how much parents losing their children and then left to raise grandchildren. And none of us, nobody in the hood have life insurance. And if we do, it's those that got jobs. Ain't no street nigga with a life insurance. But we put our life on the line all the time with no insurance. And I'm talking from a sense of a man that been outside, sold the drugs, we played with the guns, we been through the wars. We ran from the police. The trap's been raided. We all got stories. We all got things where we can reflect on and have a level of understanding. Like I could relate to that. So I can relate and understand these young boys. I can understand why a lot of young men are in these states, mainly for not having father figures in their lives. And the father figures that come in and out their lives is 3 ways. It's either it's a mother's boyfriend, a teacher who's only could, with the laws and the rules and regulations, only can do just as much because he has to keep his job. And those that work in the police field. These are the only 3 individuals that came our way as father figures. But yet these young ones is just out here just wilding and not knowing the circumstances that comes along with wanting to be a gangster. The circumstances that come along with wanting to be a drug dealer. You reap what you sow. And karma is a bitch. And karma, when she comes, or when it comes with vengeance. People will be affected behind it. It's only a matter of now. It's only a matter of when and how. I want to let these young boys know that there's nothing wrong with being a civilian. There's nothing wrong with really wanting to do good for your mother. You don't even have to sell drugs no more. Matter of fact, selling drugs is obsolete. We got we got cannabis dispensaries all through America now. And if you want to do that, stack up your bread, get a job, stack up your bread, get the license, get an EIN, open up your own shop and sell it legally. The government gonna make their PC, you make your PC, nobody go to jail, everybody's happy. Like, you don't have to take the same approach and take the same routes that somebody like myself took in the late 90s, early 2000s. You don't have to take that route no more. You guys got that avenue to achieve greatness all from the palm of your hands. Use it wisely. Cherish your freedom. Because a lot of you guys aren't built to go to jail. It's easy. Listen, it's easy to be home with your mother. You could do whatever you want. You can shoot this, you could do that, you could do whatever you want. But when you get locked up and then you are in a facility full of wolves, criminals, gangsters, killers, just like you went from being in a state of comfortability to be in a state where you got to stay on edge. You got to be on point. And when dudes start seeing that, sometimes their true characteristics come out. Individuals end up cooperating. And this is why I'm saying this now. You don't need to take this route. Don't take this route. You can stay where you at. Think about that. Your mother needs you. Why would you allow your mother to go through that? Your sisters need you. Why would you allow your sisters to go through that? Now you leaving women defenseless in a world full of criminals and chaos. The world is about to crumble and you're nowhere there to protect them. Because your thought process was, I'm going to show everybody in this world that I'm a gangster, that I'm supposed to be feared and respected. We all want street cred, but we don't want to get cred to buy the street. We all want street cred, but don't want to get the cred to buy the street. And cred means credit. Who's teaching us these behaviors? And when are we going to realize that these are taught behaviors? When are we going to realize that this is not how we need to operate? When are we going to realize that it's us against them? When are we going to realize how much people must die for us to wake up? How much jails must be filled for us to wake up? How much kites must be sent for us to wake up? How much grieving must we go through for us to wake up? How much? Dudes get a kick out of saying, yeah, man, this is the most dangerous hoe. This is like, I'm sitting here and I'm watching. I'm like, yo, you really get amped up for this? The most dangerous for who? You know you only able to do this to your own. You're not doing this to the police. You damn sure not doing this to these white folks. So who are you doing this for? To your own? You think you real because you able to kill your own? You think that's gangster? You think that's thorough? You think that's the real of the real? Nah, fam, that's fake. That's soft. That's a coward. That's a man that's emotionally distressed. You need help. And I don't want it to be on a level of ridiculing, but we need to come to a level of agreement and understanding and realize that a lot of these things that we're doing is unnecessary. Some of these people that's getting killed out in these places are dying because of words. Not even physical. Nobody violated nobody's moms, nobody violated nobody's sister, nothing. And even those things is not worth killing. Knuckle up, put a beat on them. And that's another thing too, a lot of you guys, you got to learn how to take L's, man. There's nothing wrong with taking an L. It's not a loss, it's a lesson. You got caught with that jab a little too many times, then you need to start focusing on being able, when you see a jab come, you be able to bob and weave, push it to the side. There's a lot of things that you can learn from just fighting. But when you kill somebody, that's something that's going to stay in your conscience for the rest of your life. And guess what? When you kill somebody, you live by the gun, you shall die by it. You will. And if you don't get hit by it, your children will. Your grandchild will. You see these stray bullets and people be like, yo, so how you got hit? Well, you got to then question, what was their parents doing back in the days? What was, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the father don't miss his shot. The Grim Reaper doesn't miss his shot. And I'm saying this as an ex-gang member, as a former drug dealer. I'm saying this, that the grass is greener on the other side, man. Trying to prove to people that you a gangster, that you real, that's exhausting. That's why a lot of dudes in Chicago ends up dying, because trying to prove that they're real and gotta be on point. That's exhausting. Sometimes people just want to just go to their friend's house, laugh, joke, blow a L, take a sip, and say, "My mans, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow." Compared to, "Yeah, bro, yo, check the block. Yo, you see a car coming? Yo, who those? Who that? Who that lurking? Come on." Now, I'm not saying you're not supposed to be on point, because as colored men, anything you could be mistaken for a false identity from the police, from things. I'm not saying for us not to be on point, but I'm just saying that if we start putting our foot forward for the change, then everybody will follow suit. See, we as colored people, we desiring a leader. We desire somebody to lead us, somebody to take us away from all of this. We want to be taken away. Not everybody wants to be ignorant. Even when I was in my ignorance, I didn't want to be ignorant. My comfort came when I was home. That's why majority of my time is, I'm gonna be in the crib. I'm gonna rock out in the crib, because I know that my safety was home. I know that when I go outside, I have to pull a whole armor on, not just physically. I gotta put an armor mentally. I gotta put an armor emotionally. Because you're not supposed to be out here crying. You're not supposed to do nothing. There's a lot of things that come with living this life. And nobody ain't telling these youth these things. Look at these Chicago dudes, and they could go, "Yo, my man was killed here. My homie was killed there. He was killed at the gas station there. Son got robbed right here." Like, if this becomes a story of yours, that is a problem. You know that person is suffering from PTSD. And I call it post-traumatic slave disorder, or PTSS, post-traumatic slaves syndrome. And we could call it post-traumatic European syndrome, PTES. Post-traumatic European syndrome. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna talk about that. Post-traumatic European syndrome. See, it's a problem for us. And I want to be the one to put my foot forward. There's a lot of things that I got in the works. And, if it be the Father's will, it manifests and it unveils and it comes into my hands and I'm able to change the world. But there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward. Like, what I'm saying, that I'm trying to bring to light, into tuition, into helping my brothers and sisters get right. Because it's time for us to get right. One man, me, myself, I can't protect every single woman and child. I can't do it by myself. I need you guys. I need you guys to put down these guns and stop looking at each other as enemies and start looking at each other as two brothers in a battlefield together, going through the same trials and tribulations against one enemy. This one enemy is sitting back, funding your mentality, funding your schools, funding the way that you think, funding your religion, funding everything to lead you in a state of confusion. Because when you're confused, you're going to fall for it all. There's somebody funding our demise. And they fund it, and then they give you a little bit of entertainment so you can laugh a little bit, joke a little bit, play a little video games. But then when you go outside, you got to be on point. Somebody's funding that. And they know who they are. They know what they're doing. They know why they're doing it. But it's time for you, young man and young woman coming up, to understand that. It's time for you to stop using your phones to do TikTok videos and start using your phone to gain some knowledge. Not just watch YouTube, but actually gain some knowledge. Learn some black history. Learn what these heathens have done. Or should I say these Gentiles? No, learn what these Gentiles have done unto your family, man. Learn it. It's important. Learn who benefits every time a brother goes to jail. Learn who benefits and who suffers. Learn who's funding gangster rap. Learn who's funding prostitution, pornography, pedophilia. Learn who's funding these fashion industries that's pushing this immorality lifestyle upon colored people. Learn who's doing these things. These are the things that you need to learn in order to know where you're going. You must know who's the enemy. You got to identify them because they got you believing that the enemy is somebody that looks like you, that's from the same block, around the corner, went to the same school, moms know each other. We out here once used to be a big community. Now we over here beefing with each other, blocks over blocks that you guys don't even own. Ask yourself who's funding the police that rides around dark tents, unmarked cars, hop out on you guys like certified criminals, 40, 10, 15 deep, guns drawn. Have you sitting on your hood while they ransack all through your car, destroy everything, don't put nothing back. How I know that? Because these are the things that was done to me, and they're still being done to this day. Till this day. These are the things that you need to start focusing on. And when you start realizing these things, that's when change is going to happen. Maybe you guys got to turn off the music. Maybe you guys got to turn off the TV. Maybe you guys got to get off social media. Maybe you guys need to just put the whole phone down and just go outside and just go for a walk. Go outside and go for a talk. Go outside and just find who you are. Ask God, who am I? What is my purpose? Seek him and you shall find that he will give it to you. And when you receive it, embrace it, honor it, stand by it, move with it, change with it. When I found my purpose, I said, you know what? This is a dub. When I had my son, I said, listen, me being in this gang is a dub. Let me see anybody I had situations with. Let me see what this is about, where this is gonna go. Because I'm not gonna be walking up and down my community with my child having to look over my shoulders. That's not the life I ever chose to live. And a lot of beef and situations I put upon myself because I was face fighting. I wanted to grill niggas. I wanted somebody to say what you looking at so we could get turned up. You feel me? This was a taught behavior. Because I remember being young and small and running to my mom's, and my mom take me to the park and buying me ice cream and, watching Darkwing Duck and Tailspin and all of that good stuff. Yeah, I'm telling my age. I remember those days. To then want to be outside and say, yo, man, I'm the biggest gangster that you've seen thus far. Bring unnecessary beef to me. And praise the Father, you know what I'm saying? I was a man of reasoning. Not saying I was soft, but I will always listen to your perspective because maybe your perspective and how I see things is off. Maybe me viewing you as a ops was off. Oh, my bad, bro. I seen you with all those colors. I thought you was trying to, you know, that was me. And as the man that I am now, I have more connections with the opposite gang than I do with my own. This is crazy, but it's the truth. But you see how the Father works? And everybody that I know that was in any level of gang, if you have reached my age, we denounce that. Denounce that. You can't be 30 something years old and you still want to be in a gang. You still want to give peace signs and you want to peace people and you want to we're not doing all of that, man. We're not doing all of that. And it's you guys that need to start speaking to these youths and make sure that they don't take the same approach, take the same path, because this path ain't for us. This path is going to lead us to jail or hell. And I'm going to leave it as that, man. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. I came to you guys live. Yeah. You know, just another day in the neighborhood, man. But I digress, man. You guys stay humble, stay preserved, stay G'd up from the feet up. You know me, never roll the weed up. But, you know, these suckers can't be us, can't see us. But continue supporting, man. It's your brother, man. I'ma holla. Peace.